That's where it gets misunderstood. I can't cope with things that doesn't trigger my high. I do things without thinking sometimes. I just like to hurt myself.
Good evening, this is Lainey, back at it again, making second video in a row from yesterday. And I just want to say, happy after Valentine's Day. Today is Wednesday. I want to try and sound not so robotic, okay? Trying my best not to sound so robotic on this video with grace. Yes, with grace, with true authentic grace and authenticity. Today is the 15th. Today is Wednesday, the 15th, and I wanted to share what I had learned today, doing some extensive research on personality background, some stuff that I learned. If you do decide, or if you are curious about wanting to figure out what type of female beta you are, yes, there's different hierarchies in the list, such as gamma, beta, sigma, alpha, and so forth. And I was just taking the whole test, and scored 14 out of 15 questions on a sigma female. So I had to share that I am literally a sigma female, but in an aspect where I'm trying to have this relating in how to speak this way in an extroverted way, because I am extroverted. I do carry more energy when I'm actually out and about doing stuff. And, I'm both. Introverted means you need your personal space where you get to introspect and just stay in a quiet place and just reflect on, with yourself. But to be honest, I get more energy when I'm out there, when I'm actually out there trying to, or not even trying, but like I just get more energy when I'm outside. Okay, when I'm outside of a space that's not just inclined to just me. Whether that be going to a function, going to a party, going to a farmer's market, going to a mall, just for the heck of it. Going to a grocery store. Yes, I spend most of my time in a grocery store just to be there, because there's so many items that you could choose from that I would find myself in a grocery store almost every day, just because I have this sort of just energetic vibe when I'm walking around. And I'm like, yeah, that is totally me, extroverted. I'm in a grocery store every day, not buying everything that I need, because I know for a fact that the next day I'm going to go to this grocery store and I'm going to go get the second item that I need. Why? You might think that I'm crazy, but honestly, it's just to get out there. It's to get out there and have a reason as to why I'm in a grocery store buying something that's on a list that I'm supposed to get the day before. Obviously, extroversion. I am an extroverted person, and this is why it's sort of just driving me crazy to just stay indoors all the time, and long periods of time when I know that I need to get out there hiking, I need to get out there socializing, or just doing something that requires me to be outside. And this might change, or this might be different for other people, but to be honest, if you were to put a mirror in front of yourself and talk to yourself and just be like listing everything that you actually want to do in life or like to do in life, I wonder what type of things you might have on that list that categorizes you in that particular aspect that puts you on this sort of hierarchy list for, you know, being a beta, gamma, or sigma. And if you do categorize yourself in that particular aspect, it gets even easier. Or actually, it sort of just reminds you who you are. You know what I mean? Because I was sort of just having trouble at one point. And I just wanted to share this because this is something to just remind yourself. You can do things that you want to do, whether that be something that's totally different from one topic. You see, there was a time or like a point in my life where it's like it was always an ultimatum. But I just realized that if you're good doing those, or like you're actually very talented in doing both things, why not do both? Why not challenge the status quo and put yourself in everything that you're actually good at, rather than challenging the opposing things that's totally opposite from each other? I feel like if you are good in those aspects, why not do them all? So that's something that I wanted to talk about too, which I did write, is actually continuing to write right now. This book where I'm actually manually writing it down since my laptop got stolen. I'm manually writing something that sort of connects you to your psyche. And in this sort of thing that I written down, it's basically journeying to your North Star, also as one could call it, journeying to your soul. And I'm like, I have a passion for music and singing and creating and rapping. Yeah, I want to do that. I have a passion for writing, expressing, creatively, logically thinking. Yes, I want to do that too. I have a passion for. And the list goes on, where you're cooking, creating, preparing meals, making them look pretty. Okay, I have a passion for looking good, or just taking care of myself in general, grooming. Okay, so if you list that, everything that you're actually you're liking and you want to do in life, why not have them oppose each other in some way, but have them sort of work together where it forms some sort of balance, right? The last video is on balance, and I'm like, yes. So let's list out the top two categories of the I'm just gonna call it the college personality. Okay, so the college personality that I'm under, okay, and it's in the Greek philosophy. If we're talking about this as like, if I'm going to be in a dorm and I'm placed in these whatever beta, whatever gamma, and then you're like sort of just doing this whole chant before you actually step in. I don't know if you guys watched all of those like high school sort of early 2000s movies where they just graduated high school. A good example would be American Pie. But yeah, in American Pie, they get placed into like different Greek, whatever, theta, gamma, beta houses, right? And then they do this whole chant, and then like they have to sort of just like do something to get in that, to be accepted in that house or whatever. Okay. And I swear to gosh, yes, Sigmas are one of the most rarest people in the world. I would say possibly like maybe 5% of the whole woman population. And this is like the rare woman individuals, as well as men too, but I'm just gonna point this out, that Sigmas, they're very rare. They're a rare breed. They're like, it's like, you know, picking out like coffee beans, and you have all of these black coffee beans, and then there's only one sticking out, and it's like a gold one, right? That would sort of just be like a Sigma. I'm not trying to like be boastful about this, but that's how rare Sigmas are in this world. And I'm proud to say that I do classify under a Sigma, which makes total sense. Sigma. So let's, if I were to just percent, or like literally just put this in percentage form, I'd be like 80% Sigma and 20% Alpha. Definitely in that category. 80% Sigma is being independent, loyal, assertive. Don't follow the normal norms. Loyal, charismatic, mysterious, intimidating, introverted, not afraid to break rules. But I'm actually an extrovert, so that's like the -1 from the whole thing where I took the test. I answered 14 yes and 1 no. And that 1 no was the introverted part. So that's why the 20% goes to that Alpha. So let's go intimidating. That's the thing that actually like literally I wanted to do more research, and I'm like, it seems as if I intimidate people in some way, because in some way it just like, you're so rare, and so you have this individuality that sort of just blends in with everybody, but at the same time it's like literally it's intimidating to them, because it might be like causing them to be like, well, I thought you're with us, or like, you know, and then you're meshing with them, and it's like, well, no, it's not even like that. It's just the fact that I have a lot of beliefs that I do believe in, and it doesn't mean I need to stick with one, you know what I mean? And it's like, why should one or the other be fighting with the other when I choose myself to want to be in everything? I don't think that's something that should be wrong, but again, I think that does intimidate, and I did that research about it. I had to just go back to it and be like, intimidating? Really? People see me as intimidating? So I had to actually go back and look at it, because I honestly didn't know. I honestly was blindsided that, like, literally, why would I be intimidating to others? You know what I mean? It just, oh, maybe, okay, that's why. I see now. So let's continue. Okay. My clock went off for like the laundry. All right. The other one is not afraid to break rules. Yeah, definitely, totally. Not judgmental or dramatic. High standards. Likes new experiences and challenges. Yes, committed to self-improvement. Totally. Doesn't care of social standards. Yeah. And no offense, but like the top 2 that I actually fall under is like, I like to challenge the status quo. only because I just have alternative ideas into making them better, you know? I just have these alternative ideas that sort of be like, well, if you do this, it's gonna be easier. Or like coming up with new things that might actually be a lot better than the social or like the normal norm that people are so inclined to doing all the time. I find ways to like sort of make it a bit better and a little bit more creative. Let's just put it as that. This is why I don't know. The whole part of like independence and sort of liking doing, you know, things my way, or like figuring out ways that's actually easier instead of harder, smarter instead of you know, smarter instead of like harder again, right? And I'm like, I just realized this, yeah, you know, I did come across a lot of experiences where I'm in a pod share and I'm like doing something in a different way that others are doing, and they sort of just see that. And sometimes it's just a lot more easier, you know, where I show them this way and they're like, wow, I didn't know. Sometimes maybe that could be the intimidating part, whereas, oh, there's something new and creative about this, but it intimidates others because it's like, oh, well, we're so used to doing it this way because we've always been doing it this way. You know what I mean? It's like a whole black and white sort of era, and I'm like the one putting in some new color into something that's so black and white, you know? And it's, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, that it's not like, no offense, it's not to make you feel intimidated. It's just the fact that I have another way of viewing and seeing things in a different way that would actually be beneficial in some sort. You know, it's not following the social norm that everyone's following all the time, because being as fiercely independent and, you know, things like new ways, challenging ways of being is something that I'm actually really good at. This is why I create the things that I want. I chase after the things that I want in a way where it's this path. And I'm not following the social norm where people want me to be in this because they want this, but I actually enjoy something because this is what I want and this is what fits the whole category of who I am. And that's not to just, this is not to just be like, oh, okay, this is not because I'm trying to challenge or whatever, but I have a different way of doing things, and everyone does, you know. Everyone has their own ways of doing stuff, and I don't think that's bad. And can I ask you, and can I tell you and ask you this, personally, if we were in a room and you had to choose what kind of flavor ice cream you want in that room, and it's like literally you choose this and some people choose that, and it's like you have 4 flavors on the table: chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, or ube. You know what I mean? Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, or ube. What would you choose? Some people would choose one, but honestly, I'd probably choose all 4. You know what I mean? Why? Because all 4 flavors taste amazing to me. And they actually, like, literally combining them both, or all, combining them all might actually taste like the best invention ever, you know? And it's just how I think. And it's not the same as people think, because they're like, well, I'm gonna choose this because this is my favorite flavor, and I'm gonna stick to this flavor. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna choose all of these four and try to combine them all because I'm curious to know what it tastes like. Yeah. So anyways, I just like to challenge a new way of thinking. My thought process is always challenging a new way of thinking. I have alternative ideas and I like to always develop new solutions to this because obviously we're living in a universe that's hella expanding, and I feel like it's better to expand than to contract. And to contract is to always go with the normal everyday routine that people are so inclined to. And I'm like, no, I want to think outside of the box. I want to break out of this whole matrix of this and that. This is a routine. And I want to combine some ideas with this because it works with that schedule. This is why, at times, this is where my power was before, where I've actually picked my own schedule, my own time with a job or like a service that suits me. You know what I mean? Potential wise, it suits me because my potential is working well in that area. And as for like people have their own ways. They like the normal ways. I for a fact like to develop new strategies, new ideas, and challenging the status quo, and sort of working this whole thing where I'm combining the creativity with the logic. And this for a fact is actually helping because as I develop this part of myself and realize more and more of who I am in this as an individualistic person in the Sigma female category / alpha, 20% alpha, you know what I mean? Pretty much is like willing to command a room and takes charge. Like I like to take charge. If it be where I had to take responsibility for a team and I was literally the one who set the idea out for that team, I would be the one responsible for that. Yes, I will take initiative for that, and I am not scared or like frightened to actually command a room. A room being where I'm leading somehow in this classroom that I made up here, virtual reality right now on the phone. So let's get back to business as we're like continuing this whole process, this thought process that I have, and I'm just like venting in my iPhone right now because it feels great. Honestly, I'm just doing it because this is a personal sort of just like self-development thing that I'm trying to do in a creative way, which doesn't really follow the whole like, you know, the whole, you know, sort of this listing. I'm like, I'm not gonna list it, I'm just gonna say it. And whatever, like, I'm talking to this phone as if I'm talking to my friend, for example, and just having a conversation. Music, yes, passionate about music, totally passionate. I swear to gosh, I'm in the fields and I'm walking this dog, and I'm like running in the fields, just like, you know, sort of imagine myself in a music video, my hair down with these tight jeans, and I'm running here and I'm like, you know, I'm like singing this song, and I'm just like, you know, pretending I'm in a music video, and I'm actually feeling great. You know, this is what I do when I'm hiking. When I'm hiking, I'm like low key running around in a meadow full of grass, and I'm just singing my heart out as if like, you know, no one's there, but like obviously the birds could hear me, the trees could hear me, and that all, like, literally the dog that I'm with could hear me. And I'm like, this is great. This is like having the time of my life. I could be expressive emotionally in this field. And then at night, I'm literally just like doing some research on some shit. Writing everything that I reflect upon life and what's being seen and what's being observed through someone's eyes and just sharing it virtually. Whereas virtually hoping this virtual thing would actually be working enough to be said in the physical someday. Yes, so this is possibly just a motivation within myself to get there somehow, you know, and it takes a lot of work. I just got motivated from my friend today, bless her, that I'm staying here, you know what I mean? She's letting me stay at this place, which is pretty amazing, and grateful. She just was like, reality check, sis, reality check. And I'm like, reality checked. Yes, indeed. She's like, yeah, last week I was worried because you like literally just like, you know what I mean? I sort of just like did this whole impulse thing, you know, with the whole work thing. And I'm like, she told me, girl, reality check. And I'm like, yes, reality check. What is your reality in today? Or like, how is your reality like today? Can I ask you? I had to tell a story that like there was a point in my time that I was a drifter, literally. I was a drifter and I went off into the unknown as this drifter, but then it didn't lead to anything, honestly. It sort of just like made me go around and see some beautiful sights, but it didn't really lead anywhere. So, can I share what a drifter is? A drifter is somebody who literally just goes out there, right, without having a set goal on where they want to be in life, and they're literally just drifting out there. And I would sort of just like mention this sort of just like, I would imagine a drifter being like someone who's sailing out into the sea, being stuck in the middle of nowhere in the sea, but it not actually going anywhere. Like the sailor is literally in the middle of the ocean and it doesn't even have a destination. And you know that the world is basically made up of 80% with water. So you're in a world and you're stuck in the middle of the ocean with 80%, like the whole freaking world here is made out of water. And you're drifting there with nowhere to go. I just want to mention that a drifter is like you're stuck in a place where you're on the outside lands of nowhere, going nowhere, and you're literally just walking, or like you're drifting like a tumbleweed and it goes absolutely nowhere. Where are you going, sir or madam? When you are lost in sea, where are you going? Where are you going? It took me a while to realize what I was doing, and so this is why we need coaches and a lot of people who could help motivate people, to help them in some way where they're not caught up in this loop that the demons would literally make you go crazy, honestly. And to be honest, I was so glad that actually someone motivated me, because if I were to be in that same drifter or like state of mind that goes nowhere, I'm gonna be lost at sea and literally just have all these freaking like sea monsters just come out to get me in that. And I'm like, no, no, this is not gonna happen. No, this is not gonna happen in a 80% water world. No way. So anyways, I just want to read parts of my book so you sort of just like see what I'm trying to cook up here. This is A Journey to the Soul, Volume 1. What is the most important question that someone needs to discover? Ask the question and answer it. Find the question. What is a question? What is a question that people really want to ask themselves? What is it? It's quite simple, really. 3 words. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? December 1, 2021. I wake up at the sun peaking, 3:45 a.m. The most beautiful sunrise I've seen so far, yet I still wonder, how did I end up sleeping in my car? Maybe it's because I want to save money. I mean, I made it to one of the best destinations for a vacation, Maui. As beautiful as it is, there was only one road that takes you around this pretty island. Every beach has at least one turtle you can find sleeping among the shore or even close to the big black boulder. The best time to see them is before 7 a.m. or after 6 p.m. I know because I'm always near the beach. This is my territory where I pin drop my starting point of survival. I mean, right now, with less than $3,000 in my bank, I need the means to save every bit I can. I can't really afford $1,500 a month in that really over-the-top luxury suite of a cabin in Kula anymore. So this is my first day out on the road of literally survival. I found a spot off the highway close to Pi'ilani Highway. Another hike I managed to discover. I named this hike Maui Tide Pools. This is, I guess, the first day in actually living outside of what you call a home or a shelter. At least this Honda CR-V that I bought from my old roommate is still driving okay. After 250,000 miles. I walk towards the edge of the black rocky corner towards the ocean and spot a ladder going down to the tide pool. It's about a 40-minute hike from the highway, and I guess I wasn't the only person who can see the tide pool from a distance. From the edge of the mountain, the tides look crystal clear. Time to make your way down there, princess. The raggedy ladder looked really unsafe. It's as if no one has come here for years. The moisture from the sea had made sure that the wood chipping is visible. I take a deep breath and slowly planted my foot on the first step. Looking down below was like staring at the floor. I can measure the length to be at least 25 feet. So my manual book goes like this. This is what it looked like, literally. This is me and the scary ladder. Okay, let's continue. One more. I step to the next piece of wood and I can feel my heart skipping beats. This is only day 1 and I really have to go through this, don't I? I took off my jacket and placed it on the wood above me, just in case one of the wood below was loose. By the looks of it, I can see parts of the screw already stripped and rusty. I have about 7 steps more to go. I looked down, and I had to really stretch my legs apart to catch the width of the wood. Slow and steady, I keep repeating. I get to the last piece of wood and it broke in half. Based on a true story, by the way. As I look above, I can see that getting up would even be more difficult. I walk towards the edge of the rocks and enjoy the breeze blowing at my sweat. I take off my shirt and step into the icy cold pool out before me. I can see colorful coral on each corner and even see a bunch of fish in it. Just a lonesome person here enjoying the tide pool that this island has to offer. There was literally no one here but me. I dive head first inside the pool and washed my face. When I was at age 25, I remember a quick view of my old life as $150 champagne hit my face in the bathtub of the Signature Hotel in Vegas. I got super drunk with those 4 bottles and knocked out of blue Supermans and I remember carrying the loads of my personal belongings out of there. No. But the taste of champagne lingered in my mouth in that tide pool for no apparent reason. I swallowed the ocean water. An hour later, I make my way out of the pool. I took one of my shirt in my hiking bag and wiped my face. I walked towards the ladder, and this is one for the books. If I've survived this ladder, which is possibly a 65% chance knowing that at any moment one of the wood might break, then my journey will continue. I used another shirt as leverage to make my way up and find that this was even worse than coming down. Okay, I'm just gonna stop at that. So as I'm like reading this, it just takes me back to that memory again, you know, that memory of perseverance. And basically it's like you're in their head and it's like, are you gonna actually do it? You're gonna actually risk your life for this thing? And I'm like, you won't know unless you try, you know? And it's sort of just that whole mentality of not being afraid to think differently or like do something that sort of just like gets you out of your comfort zone. So that's something that I wanted to challenge on a daily basis, but right now, as resources would have it, this is where I'm at. The resources that I need is something that I need in the present, you know, and it's something that's not to be ignored. And when I used to have this whole drifter moment, you know, just doing stuff because I wanted to do stuff, and it's like I'm not thinking about the actual foundation of it. It did cause sort of just like a whoop-de-doo, like I'm drifting, but there's no destination, you know what I mean? But nowadays it's like there is a destination. There is somewhere that I want to achieve or be at. And I'm not spilling that yet. It's going to remain a mystery until possibly after 2 videos. But yeah, anyways, that whole mysterious part is definitely yes. It is definitely yes. Could be. Yes, that is true. I like to be mysterious. I just don't like to spoil the surprise. You know what I mean? I like things that sort of just like keeps you guessing. Okay, so the next video, I'm probably just gonna share something emotional, you know? Let's talk about something that would actually reflect on the things that's inside of you. The things that's inside of you that actually is like the shadow aspect of yourself. Okay, the light aspect of yourself is like your character. And my character in this, someone who's not afraid to do something that normal people wouldn't do. I wanted to challenge that status quo, and actually step outside of that and go where no one has actually been. That's who I've always been. And this is why I get so curious on things that really fit me to want to explore. I'm so curious enough to the point where it's like, well, what is that on the other side that people didn't go yet? And I see something very beautiful out there. I see a nice hiking area that people do not see but linger where they're very safe and used to. With me, it's like I want to explore that place where no one has been, that place where people are like afraid to actually take a peek at because no one has ever done it before. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna enjoy every aspect of it. So that's where it is. That is where the abundance lives. Yeah, so this is why I would catch myself just being so curious to know what's on the other side. I peek over to this area where there's 3 cones, literally, and it's blocked off and it says, no trespassing. But behind that trespassing sign is like just this beautiful mountain that's waiting to be explored. And I'm like, well, I'm going to ignore this sign and I'm gonna go through. That's something that I would do, literally. And I wouldn't even like be curious enough to see if anyone looked. I'm just gonna go, you know? I think that's something that this is something that psychologically sort of just wanting to share as well. Some people are used to the whole, okay, I'm going to follow this because it's something that I need to do, whereas it's like, for me and people who think this way as well, it's like, well, there's something out there on the other side. There's something out there on the other side that could either be better or be challenging, or in some way that would sort of just really inspire me to do something brave. And I'm willing to do that. And I do that all the time. I catch myself doing things that the normal people wouldn't think of doing. So you would catch me literally going over that in a heartbeat. Pages 3 and 4 to Into the Void. Pages 3 and 4. Let me read. Spirit always thrives over complication and never settles. You don't know someone until you've met them. On My Way. And this was written just a couple months ago, March 2000. No, actually, no, this was last year. March 2022, on my way, in brackets. Preface: maybe it's time I allow the universe inside. It's time to allow the universe to come inside. Reflection, still introspection. Didn't realize my biggest power comes from deep emotion. It causes a flood in the ocean, yet it stops the fire in the commotion, which all wraps. Emotional control to make sure it is within grasp, but it takes wisdom to make feelings last. Overcome the waves that built you this way by doing something a little uncomfortable every day. Mentally strong, emotionally pure, sunflower, your love is the only cure. What are you willing to sacrifice to endure? To suffer, to lose? What are you willing to do when you are awake, when you finally wake up? Pour some black and white coffee in my cup. Okay. I know I was born different, and we need something new in life. The 3 C's is courage, confidence, and cure. Today is going to be a joyful day. On my way, and this song goes like this. Literally, I just made this song goes. I'm gonna step to the. Okay, wait. Okay, this is part 1. I'm gonna step to the top. Training stylist might tell me to stop. Off balance with some new balance socks. Something in the middle, a little something off edge, a little dark, a little light of the rare blend. I fucked up, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep going. The right smell just to wake the senses up. In the morning, filling up the cup. Purple and orange across the days, singing in summer haze. I'm not using my singing voice because my nose is clogged, by the way, but let me try. Losing myself in the verse, never going in reverse. I might be a little shy, but within time, with the hands rough but steady, but so ready. A little practice, I'm on my way. A bit more active, but I'm on the way. Remove the malice to communicate, to elevate. We are on the way, but it's on the way. Hey, we are on the way. On the way. Yeah, I go something like that. Sounds a little corny, but whatever. Open but opposed to the distractions if it's in my lane. Ready for the next topic that fills the brain. Daring though, much more mature. The honey is sweet when served pure. And for others, the process meticulous. More to project with full of wonders. Mentioned for sure. To be wiser with knowledge, spread the cure. That distinct gleam of orange in the sky gives hope and meaning why the cycles on the bike like a runner's marathon rides when the feeling of defense is finally gone. Okay, so that's On My Way song that I created. Sounds good with an actual, nice production of a, people to produce with, but since my laptop got stolen, I gotta do this a cappella. Yeah. Right. What else do I have to share? I just wanted to share this creation. Yes, I spend my time, a lot of time just creating a lot of things, a lot of thoughts, a lot of writing, a lot of art. And this is something it just comes naturally, it comes naturally in a way where it's not opposing the other, but it's just sharing things that we believe in and we are passionate about and we love. There shouldn't be a problem to doing things and being things or like pursuing things that you actually love to do. If it comes from the heart, if you're passionate about it, why not do it? Why not do it? Why not challenge that fact? Why not think outside the box? Why not Be that person, that authentic version of who you are, rather than complying just to comply, or cope just to cope, or to just literally put yourself down in a way because it pleases others in a way that pleases them with their selfish sort of motives. You know for a fact that you love yourself, you love the things that you do, you love God, and God loves you. God loves everybody. Isn't that true? That just came from my head, by the way. Literally, I'm getting good with this whole freestyle thing. So like the more you practice, the more you get better, and the more you actually literally just get better. You know, the more you do something, the more you put in effort. Good job to you who's doing that. And since right now that I am like being authentic and real, and I have my own opinions, and I'm not afraid to speak them out and voice them out, it did come a long way from what it was before, where it was like the whole timidness, the whole unrealness, the whole sort of just being in a cageness, that sort of just been like, okay, well, this is actually me. This is what is actually real. What is the actual true person that thinks, feels, and expresses, you know? And it's not like I'm trying to make anyone feel intimidated, or trying to intimidate the idea or thought processes of others. But it's just to voice out a simple opinion and a simple way of thinking that one person actually has, you know? And I am damn well proud of it, that I did come a long way to get to this point, to get to this real point where it's this point and there's no returning back to that timidness that was before, past tense. This is the real, the rough, the valid, the truth, the now, the present, the today. Lainey. I'm going to say Lainey first because that's a nickname. Lainey, aka Elaine. Elaine is being the real name. So I'm going to vice versa and put that in context with the actual nickname being on top and the normal name being second. You know why? Because I've never done that before, and I think it sounds pretty cool. LOL. Okay. The last bit of creation that I just want to express here, as I am expressing out here onto the thought process to the actual out there universe here. I do believe in metaverses too. As crazy as it sounds, I'm very galactical, and I believe in a lot of things that sort of just ether, in the whole ether. I hella believe in the whole ether. Maybe I could like put the music together, you know? Maybe I could just put the music with it right now, but like there's no sort of just like, it's just basically a poem to a song that I want to create a song that would make this sound good with the whole singing part, as well as like the whole masculine part with someone rapping or someone just putting it all together, you know? To work it all out, select this all right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, it's called The Curious. I named this The Curious because obviously that's a top personality that I do carry. I'm very curious to know what's on the other side. Let's just snap the fingers. Snap the fingers. Snap the fingers. The curious. I'm the alpha in the mix. Oh my gosh, that totally messed me up. Sorry, one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time. Okay, the curious. The curious. The alpha in the mix, violet red. Matrix, a matriarch out of it. Knowing when to take a hit. Thanks for the ether of Till Swan. I remember the gold headband from that one. Do I choose to cut my hair short? Stepping into Resident Evil, but the pause has been making the will eager. I see the footprints that I left near the places I've been, marking in territory hills where it's waiting for me still. Still. Goes well with my vibration because it's been stagnant under the watchful eyes. I go against the odds as I blend in this disguise. She's a Sigma of the tribe. She's a Sigma of the tribe. Mister, ask me what you want. I'm gonna re-record this. Okay, let's go again. The curious. The alpha in the mix, violet, red, and matrix, a matriarch out of it, knowing when to take a hit. Thanks for the ether of Teal Swan. I remember the gold headband from that one. Do I choose to cut my hair short, stepping into Resident Evil? But the pause has been making the will eager. I see the footprints that I left near the places I've been, marking in territory hills where it's waiting for me still. Goes well with my vibration because it's been stagnant under the watchful eyes. I go against the odds as I blend in this disguise. She's a Sigma of the tribe. Mister, ask me what you want. I have a new adventure. To the keys of where it flaunts. Heads back to the flip coin in the pile with all the red. An hour earlier now. When you get up from bed. I'm 31, which is the opposite from 13. The root chakra has been grounded with my self-esteem, and I have to chase the truth and let abundance come to me. I want to work hard into something that actually sets me free, and this is where I be, without anyone controlling me, creating the perfect environment that was messy enough for me. As the other side sparks the curious, the unknown makes you delirious, just catching up now that I'm falling sober. Every day I make salt in everything because it's blander every day. The energy of the Everest melts when I finally drop by, kind of getting some degrees. Drop when the scholars sing hi. I rip the old ideas like I'm kicking footnotes in my writing. I've been patient and waiting for perfect timing. If I am internally colliding the talents that were strong from last year, then I had perfected the practice when I was stuck in first gear. I enjoy it when I'm alone. I energized with others in the zone, losing contacts in my phone every time I've outgrown them, sounding like I need to move on then, or invest in something new. I really sound more attractive with this career that's so selective. I put the time in side hustles like wisdom for the collective. I fast forward because the present is past tense. With everything that's inventive, I get wrapped in, experiencing exactly what 2 miles, 8 moons can get to do. Rhymes and pick up the slack, can you? Yes, I know. It's just a drill. True, a Sigma attribute, I tell you. That's pretty much it. The curious. So that's the curious. If I had some like beats to it, it might sound actually pretty decent. I just said that in like the top of my head. You know, I just like to combine words and actual beats together and just sort of just jam, you know. It's good to have this whole creative logic flow. This whole creative logic flow sort of in a way that's kind of like water. To be curious enough to experiment in ways, experimenting in ways that's never been done before. That's sort of just something that sparks the interest. So I think that's pretty much it for today. This is Lainey, aka Elaine, and just opening up this whole virtual reality sort of thing of sharing things in expansion, not contraction, expansion. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video and hoping to create more. Anyways, have a good night.